Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Greetings, Toastmasters. You're about to learn about an almost entirely overlooked population, a population that has experienced profound neglect. We'll be learning about a group of people that have no place under the bright, sunny skies of the Southwest, nor should they try to blend in anywhere near the equator, or, as any experienced anesthesiologist, someone who puts people unconscious, can attest to, need significantly more amounts of particular drugs. I am, of course, talking about redheads. I think it's important we acknowledge and do our best to empathize with this group of people, for they've experienced ridicule, neglect, endless humor, and again, absolute terror. My most terrible experience occurred in Riverside County Regional Medical Center about 7 years ago. There was a nationwide shortage of a drug known as propofol, so they had to use it sparingly. Well, everyone got about the same, including redheads. If you've never experienced the horrific, endless abyss of regaining consciousness from an operating table, you'll never understand what it's like. But being a redhead wasn't just full of terror. It started off with this bright, pale skin bringing sunshine into every room. That, of course, was while I was a toddler. Well, growing up's inevitable, and children learn about the world around them through observation and comparison. Comparing can gain you great insights. It can also really eclipse your worldview. Comparing had significant effects on myself growing up because I didn't grow up like most children. I had someone else right there alongside with me. In fact, we were with each other before we even began life. We were with each other as swimmers. We both found ourselves different eggs, and I have a fraternal twin who somehow came out looking, quote unquote, normal. Well, puberty eventually hits, and if puberty weren't tough enough already, standing out for any reason just brings such anxiety. And the comments and questions and ridicule just has a way of bringing someone who already has a very sensitive inclination to endless tears. That is what happens when you hear redhead questions that are asked rhetorically with a mean-spirited intention quite often. But how could you not chuckle when someone asks you if the carpet matches the curtains? Well, puberty eventually brings you to adulthood, and that's when you need to make vocational decisions. And choosing to join an endeavor where standing out is the last thing you want to do as a quote-unquote recruit in the United States Marine Corps. Being the only redhead in the platoon just is like painting a highlighter across my forehead. That's the last thing I needed. Good thing we shave our heads. And now, trying to connect with this group of people today, because I know what it's like. I've been there. And since then, my hair has gone from being being a bright orange traffic cone to more of a dull, muted auburn. I can take that. I welcome it. In fact, I try to artificially alter it. And that did not pan out well. Including my paleness. Oh, growing up in a place like Tucson, Arizona, that's a great way to stand out. So buying a spray-on tan seemed like a great decision. Well, that sounds great in an air-conditioned environment. But if you're wearing a white t-shirt and you're living in the Southwest, sweat is inevitable. So say hello to a yellow collar. And today, what do I do now with my realizations growing up as a redhead, neglected, marginalized, ridiculed? Well, today, I try to find those very few people that can relate to this as children, especially. So I've become a second grade teacher. And I look out for that one or two redheaded children in an abyss of what would otherwise appear to be an auburn or sepia tone image. All you need is a couple redheads to remind you that this photo was taken in color. Thank you, Toastmasters.